We're back. What's up, everybody? Two-door, man. See, I could be in kind of like a bad mood a little bit, and then I see the two-door and I'm just like, man. But we got an issue. More so kind of an update a little bit about what's going on, because I did put a monster transmission in this thing. It's driving perfectly fine. Shifts are smooth. I even upshifted it one time. Perfect. My issue right now is, if you saw my last video where I did have a transfer case leak. I did fix the O-ring. I took the transfer case back off and put the O-ring on the rear of the transfer case. No more leak, but I now have one small drip. One small drip. I go ahead and drive it about 5 miles, and then it comes right on top of on the rear of the transmission. I'll put a picture right now so you can see it. And that's what I'm dealing with now. And after investigating and cleaning and driving and topping off and cleaning and driving, I found out what it is. It's not what I wanted it to be, and I hope Monster is going to be able to work with me, because I'm doing all of this live. I have no ties to any of these people. I don't have like technically sponsorships per se. I do, but like low key, like low key. So my issue is the rear of the case is cracked. I'll go put more pictures right here so you can see it. I'll highlight it, circle it, whatever. It is a very small hairline crack. Now, when I did receive this transmission, you don't know any of this kind of stuff. I didn't see a crack until it gets hot, and that's what happened. Now, it's not like the transfer case is bolted out of whack. It's not like those things are like forced on there. Everything goes together smooth. The rear drive shaft is brand new, balanced. The U-joints are fine. Everything's greased. Front drive shaft is fine. Nothing is bent. The old drive shaft had a dent in it, but I never used it. That's why I got a new one. So that is my dilemma. Sucks. Freaking sucks. Because I went ahead and went down locally to a few transmission shops that are around here, and the reason why I kind of like bought a transmission from a reputable place was because it is so hard to trust anyone, with at least that amount of money, and then I had to have some shady work done. But luckily, I went ahead and stopped by over this place called I think it's Cody's Transmission. Put it right here. Yeah, Cody's Transmission. I'll flip the camera. Cody's Transmission. The guy's name is John. General Automotive Repair out here in Temple. And he had a nasty, like a 565 big block Chevy on nitrous, big tub rear end. And hey, how are you? Big cube, big tire, big nitrous car. God damn. That car was nasty. He straight up was like, I'm not going to start this car for you because it costs $28 for a gallon of fuel. He's like, I'm sorry, but no. Hey, I ain't going to be mad. But there's some welding shops that said they could, but they need the case. They need everything out of the transmission. Cody's Transmission says if it comes down to it where I do need a new case, they'll be able to swap everything over for me for like $400 to $500. Now, I don't want to spend more. Not that I can't, but it's just I don't want to, because hopefully Monster will work with me on it. It's nothing of my doing. It's not like I dropped the freaking thing. It's not like I forced everything on together. It came in a nice little pallet, put it on Transjack, put that thing back in there. Everything's been fine. I can show you right here. 80 miles. 80 miles is what I put on this thing since I put the transmission in. And it's not like it lost a quart of fluid. It's not like it lost 3 quarts of fluid. It's just trying to figure out what was going on with it. So again, hopefully Monster will help me out. I know it's going to be a big issue in the next few days or so. of trying to get something to get figured out like this, because it kind of sucks when you're dealing with stuff like this, because there's a few different scenarios that can come across, and that's what I kind of like spent the day today doing. For one, I can take the transmission out, have it go over to Cody's. They can take the guts out of it and put it into a new case. That's fine. If Monster's willing to take care of that, that'll be awesome. That'll be tits. Whether he provides a case or Monster provides a case, I think it'd be a little bit easier if someone like locally has a case. That way I can do it, and we can do it that way. Or Monster can just straight up send me a new transmission. I send the old one back. Now, again, with that, they may tell me to come out more money for shipping, and then they'll reimburse me my shipping when it comes time to, you know, when they receive it. One thing I will say is, once the old one got shipped off and received over there on their end, my original one for the core, 2-3 days later, my core deposit was returned to me. So as far as right now, as far as the business side of it and how Monster is concerned, or I'm concerned with Monster, everything with that has been fine. I'm just really curious to see how they're going to help me going along with this. Now, again, with any shop, or I guess with any automotive shop, people get a lot of bad reviews and this and that. For one, not many people know how to replace a transmission as simple as it seems. You know, I could have replaced it, put everything back together, and went on about my day, but I didn't do that. What I did, I cleaned out the 2 lines that were coming out of the transmission. I replaced the radiator, because the radiator has a cooler that's in front of it. I took this cooler out, the external transcooler, cleaned that out. You know, I did a lot of precautions to go with it, and the radiator was right there. Who knows how much dirt and grit and metal shavings are inside that radiator. I don't know how old it was, so I replaced it. I did a lot of precautions, you know. I made sure my torque converter spacing was right. I put the fluid in, I turned it on, I checked it again, I shut it off, I took the fluid, let it warm up. I did all kinds of stuff. I did like a solid 30 minutes to an hour checking over everything and the fluid levels and putting it in, you know, park, neutral, drive, first, second, third for a while, just in here in the backyard before I took it on the street, because you want to be careful. Simple, but you want to be careful. Simple process, you know. So hopefully they help, and if they don't, then I go on about, you know, getting my money back. Because I don't want to go down that road. Even though I'm putting this out there right now, but this is all live. This is stuff that I'm going through, and if they help and they take care of me, I got nothing to be mad about, because it's a company that still helped me out. It's like my buddy that had an issue with his clutch. I was like, yo, go Mantic all day. Granted, you know, I've went over emails with Mantic clutches, as you know, when it comes to stuff like the Mustang or Camaros or Vets or whatever. And I told him, like, dude, the dude straight up, he's really cool. He probably may even have like a used one laying around that he can help you out with to put together in your car, because his car is a 6th gen Camaro on welds, built trans, the whole 9. Fast stuff. Like I said, I've been back and forth with him on certain stuff. Like, I was gonna help with my buddy Shelby and put a clutch together, and he's like, yeah man, we could do this. You do an install video, we'll hook you up, this and that. And I was like, oh dude, that's awesome. Doesn't even know my friend personally. Doesn't, you know, it was his first time in contact with him. He's like, you know what, you're in a little bit of a bad spot, I'll go and help you out. I'll do this, I'll do that, you know, all kinds of other stuff. So that's a kind of company that you can't be mad at. They helped you out from day one, you know. And like Monster, I was like, hey, what I was willing to do at first, I was going to buy like their stage 4 4L60, because a 5.3 with the LSA may find its way in here. And I was like, if the 4L60 that's in these guys will bolt up to a newer 5.3 or newer LS or whatever, Gen 4 and up, Gen 3 and up, whatever, I'll buy the big Mandingo stage 4. He's like, no, it's not really going to work. You're going to need a 2-piece case. You're going to need... Oh, man. I've been doing a whole video with that on my lip. you're gonna need to go to a 2-piece case, 4L65 or even a 4L80. I was like, you know what? Since we're gonna go down that road, I'm not gonna spend that much money to beef up the trans that's in it, because it's not like I'm gonna turn the Vortec into a freaking monster. Anyways, I was like, okay, let me just get the slightly upgraded 1-piece case, because this will primarily be used for, you know, like my future business venture, which I do want to start my own mobile business gig, which is why I've been so pressed on getting the Tahoe ready. I'm going to be using this thing to work on cars on the side mobily, and this kind of puts a big wrench, big thorn in my side, postponing that a little bit. But like I said, hopefully they'll get up there and fix me, and they guided me towards the route of getting the slightly upgraded one, because I'll be towing with it, with the Mustang, towing other cars that I'll probably buy and sell, and just doing not too crazy of stuff, but I just want it to be reliable. So they do, hey, go to the stage, kind of like their stage 1 package. I was like, okay, cool, I'll go with that. And you know, they didn't really try and upsell me a whole bunch of other crazy bull crap. So that's where I'm at with this. If you do have personal experience with Monster, go ahead, comment, let me know. I know there's plenty of people that say good, that they've helped them a lot through different scenarios. And there's a lot of people that say really bad things, but it's just like anything else, and it's just like a clutch company. You know, you could install it wrong, have someone do something wrong, it messes up your transmission, and you're out of trans. Not because of the clutch company's fault, not because of the transmission company's fault, but because of improper installation. So there's a little bit of the gray area that goes back and forth of, you know, who to say is really to blame. I'm not gonna lie, I've taken cars apart where, like, yo, the people that installed this, they're at fault. No ifs, ands, or buts. Driving this thing 100 miles, the pump seal didn't get blown out of it. It didn't throw my thrust bearings out. So installation of this thing was taken care of pretty well by a professional. That's where I'm at. Hopefully they help. I'll keep everybody updated. This is live. This is Monday. Yeah, today's Monday. And we'll see where it goes. I'll see you guys on the next video.